In this section, we're going to take a look at animations. Animations are a fundamental part in the RPG Wizard when it comes to building things like your characters, your NPCs, and your enemies. And they're used for things like your directional movement. So when I move up, that's an animation. When I move down, that's also an animation. I move left or right. These are all animations that are assigned to this particular character. You also have animations for diagonal movement and like that. So in RPG Wizard, when we refer to animations, we normally talk about directions such as north for up, south for down, west, east, northeast, northwest, northeast, etc. And this is the terminology that we use in the RPG Wizard when talking about animations assigned to a character. So in this part, I'm just going to show you how you can create an animation. So if you go to File, New, Animation, and what you'll be presented with is a small little animation editor. And if you open the Properties tab, you'll see that it has two properties, a sound effect and the frames per second. Now, at the minute, it's blank. There's nothing here. There's no image or anything. So if I click play, nothing will happen. So to assign an image to an animation, you need to click this plus button here. And then you'll immediately be presented with another dialog which tells you to select the sprites. And if you hover over this image, it will tell you to double click to select an image. So there's a few places in the RPG Wizard where you will be presented with a little image icon like this. And what that's asking you to do is to double click it, and that will open up a file selection. So I already have a few animations, so basically I've copied over the assets from the RPG Wizard demo game, and I'll just show you them here. So the main character from the RPG Wizard demo game has a lot of different types of animations. Some of them contain more than one frame, some of them are just single frames. So for example, his south-facing animation consists of 2 frames. And if I get the details on this image, I can see that the width is 78 pixels by 57 high. So I know that there's 2 frames, so 78 divided by 2 gives me 39 pixels each frame and 57 overall height for each frame. So when I go back to this and I select the hero's south-facing walk animation, he has a few animations here. I'm just looking for his southern animation. And there's his walk south. Okay, so I select that. And the first thing it's going to do is it defaults to 16 by 16 size, which is the smallest size that your animations can be. The thing is, the editor doesn't know how the image is formatted, so it will just default to 16 by 16 when you assign an image. So now I need to say that it is 39 wide and 57 high. I just need to click enter. And now you can see that the black grid is perfectly around each of the 2 frames. But neither of the frames are selected yet, so I can't click the OK button. So to select the frames in the animation editor, you simply need to hold the left mouse button from the first frame that you want to select and just drag it across. And there, I have 2 frames selected now. And I click OK. And then it goes back to the animation editor, and I can see the 2 frames. And if I click the play, I can see him walking. Now, you can set a sound effect for an animation, but you can also tweak the frames per second. So yeah, I have 2. So that means it will play 2 per second. I can double that and bring it up to 4. And I move slightly faster. And you can keep tweaking that up until you get a nice smooth animation. So that covers one type of animation. Now that was a very simple animation spreadsheet. It only had 2 frames. You can use more complicated ones, like this one here. This is a full character spreadsheet. So he has a couple of animations. He has walking animations, he has sword slashing animations, and he has various other animations. So I can actually, if you want to change the animation that is, or the image that is set on the animation, all you need to do is click on the animation again, and you just need to double click again, and then you'll be presented with the same file option. Now I know that this one is in this character PNG, and when I open this, it defaults back to 16 by 16. And now I can see that this character looks like he's about 32 high and 16 wide. So if I set that to 32 and I click enter, and I will apply that, and now I can see that I can move from left to right, and I can select some of his frames. You can also select downwards too, so if you have a animation that moves in a downwards direction, so if I just show you that, so if you have something like that where he's spinning, you can also set that in a downwards facing direction. That's pretty much how you use the animation editor. You can just save that animation, just give it a name, just temp animation, and then if you close that, you can open up the animation again by going into your project and double clicking on the animation, and you get it back open again. So pretty much covers the animation editor. In a later tutorial I'll cover actually assigning these animations to characters and NPCs and enemies, but for now that's about everything there is to show in the animation editor.